Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. A big thank you to Outtro GX for sponsoring this video. We'll be looking at games that are releasing from the 21st of August up until the 27th, but we'll have a look first at a couple of games that came out without ever being in one of these videos, before moving on of course to next week's games. There are quite a few games I would say this week coming out that some people would have been waiting a good while for, meaning if you are one of those people, it could be quite an expensive week. So which games are coming? Well, let's find out. Beginning with a few games that are already out then, and the first is Slime Rancher Portable Edition. This first released on Windows and Xbox One in 2017 and is a sandbox game played from a first person perspective. It says here in the blurb that each day will present you with new challenges and risky opportunities as you attempt to amass a fortune in the business of slime ranching. You will grow crops and chickadoos to feed your slimes, complete daily requests from other ranchers, earn money to expand your ranch and create gadgets to help you on your adventure. It sells for £19.49 or your regional equivalent. Also out now and missed from last week's video is Monster Train First Class. This roguelike deck builder has a big following with many people proclaiming it's one of the best out there, and it joins other classics such as Slay the Spire in coming to the Switch. After hell freezes over, you will need to defend the final burning pyre from the forces of heaven and restore the inferno. There are over 25 difficulty or covenant levels, over 280 cards, 6 monster clans to choose from, with each clan having 10 levels to unlock, plus it includes the base game and the Last Divinity DLC, and it's selling for £26.99. I'm going to have to stick an edit in here because just after I finished making this video, typically, of course, Quake was announced to have released on the Nintendo eShop. This enhanced version of the original game comes with all of the DLC that was released back in the day, as well as of course the base game. Those DLC packs being Scourge of Armagon, Dissolution of Eternity, and also Dimension of the Past, which came out in 2016. On top of that, it has an all new DLC pack called Dimension of the Machine. It has online and local multiplayer in co-op mode, gyroscopic aiming, free mods that you can actually download, which is new for a Nintendo Switch game, and crossplay with other platforms. We have got a performance review of this game already out. There is a link to it in the top pinned comment. Finally then, for the games that are already out, you have Rush Rally Origins. This is a top-down racer and the latest in the Rush Rally series, which began on mobile. The Origins moniker in this game's title refers to the fact that it has gone back to its roots in terms of the top-down view it uses, similar to the first game in this series, but it does use assets from Rush Rally 3, a game which is also on the Switch. Now, I've watched a few videos on this game because it's a game I'm very interested in. Paul over at Switched On Gaming has done a few. I'll link to his first one in the top pinned comment. And for just £4.99 or your regional equivalent, this one definitely seems worth the price, and it's one I'm sure I'll be picking up before too long.
If you're a gamer, then Outtro GX is definitely a browser that you might want to consider. It has this home screen that curates all the latest gaming news, and obviously I filter that by Nintendo Switch, and it'll also show you all the best deals on any platform that you select. You're given quite a few customization options. You can change the color scheme. My favorite aspect's probably the integration of all the social media that we have to use to manage the channel. You can literally have them pop out on the left hand side of the screen shown over here. If you play PC games, then you're going to want to think about the GX control functions. It essentially allows you to increase performance. You can limit the amount of RAM used and CPU, and having previously used Google Chrome, that can actually have quite an impact on the performance of games. It's also compatible with Razer lighting systems. You won't lose anything saved from your current browsing. You simply have to go to browser settings, synchronization, and import bookmarks and settings, and then just click on import. There is GX Mobile, so you can have it on your mobile phone as well. It's a bit of a companion app. Leave a comment down below if you check it out on mobile or on desktop. I'll pop a link, and if you add the hashtag #InstalledGX with a couple of giveaway codes. I'm fully aware that you could just do it and actually not download GX, but hopefully some of the SwitchUp family want to support us, and we really appreciate it. Right, let's get on with the video.
The first of this week's games then is King's Bounty 2. The King's Bounty series goes all the way back to 1990 when the first game released on platforms such as the Commodore 64 and the Amiga. It's had a few follow-ups over the years as well as a board game, but it's now in 2021 that it's finally getting a numbered direct sequel. Like its predecessor, this is a turn-based tactical role-playing game where you will play as one of 3 heroes, recruiting, developing and commanding an army in a non-linear adventure. The world of Antara is ripe for exploration, so says the blurb, and the environment and landscape includes diverse terrain types which will impact your battlefield tactics. This is one of the games we'll be reviewing next week, and it releases on the 24th.
Conspiracy, sabotage, necromancy, they all threaten this land asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing.
Also out this week then you've got Murder Mystery Machine, which disappointingly isn't an R-rated Scooby-Doo game. In all seriousness though, it looks very interesting. It describes itself as an isometric modern noir deduction thriller. The blurb goes on to say that you'll be exploring crime scenes, questioning suspects and finding contradictions in evidence. I like the idea of having such a game in an isometric view rather than the usual point and click view with character portraits that these games generally go for. It's out on the 25th of August and sells for $17.99 or your regional equivalent. Next then we have Spelunky. Funnily enough, last week we had a remake of Spelunker, which was an inspiration for Spelunky, and this game was actually first released as freeware for Microsoft Windows back in 2008. You control a spelunker in one of the first games to combine elements of roguelikes with side-scrolling platformers, something that's done a lot these days but was a new concept back then, and the caves that you explore are procedurally generated, making runs unique. You'll be navigating the environments, looking for treasure and avoiding traps, and for its price of £8.99 I can see a good number of people picking this one up. And releasing on the same day is Spelunky 2. This sequel to the classic roguelike platformer was developed by the creator of that first game, Derek Yu, and sees you playing as Anna, the daughter of the explorer from the first game. The blurb says that this sequel includes more areas, traps, items and characters than its predecessor, and it's also scored very well when it released in September 2020 elsewhere. It's going to sell for the higher price point of £17.99. Next is a nice, cheap and cheerful looking game called Instant Farmer. It appears to be a puzzle game where you must arrange the land to ensure a water supply can reach all of the tiles in order for your crops to grow. I'll be honest, I love little puzzle games like this, as long as they have some sort of endless mode. I'm not sure if this one does, it only mentions solving challenges here in the blurb. Either way though, I'll be taking a chance on this one for the cheap price it's going for, which is just £2.69. I'm going away on holiday next week and this will be a perfect game to play when I have a spare 10 minutes. Then we have one I'm sure a fair few people will be excited for. This is No More Heroes 3. The first 2 games in this series released on the Wii back in the day and are also available on the Switch these days, and there was also the release of Travis Strikes Again for the Switch, which, whilst part of the series, wasn't considered a direct sequel to Part 2. You'll follow Travis Touchdown as he wields his beam katana in the hopes of rising to the top of the galactic superhero rankings. There are 4 new areas being added to Santa Destroy as you hack and slash your way to superstardom. This is another one we'll be reviewing next week, although as I said I'm away, so I'll be leaving this particular review in the very capable hands of friend of the channel Dave Morrish. Funnily enough, the first time I ever played the first game in this series back on the Wii, it was actually with Dave when we were at university together. We'll be letting you know our thoughts on this one next week.
Ah, the big 4 have gathered. I'm a goddamn superhero. The all-out, all-star battle of space versus Earth. Let's destroy it. Looks like things are gonna get...
And talking of games that people will no doubt be excited for, the final game of the week is Baldo, the Guardian Owls. This game has actually been 15 years in the making, and from what I've read, initial ideas for it were with the Game Boy Advance in mind. This is an action-adventure role-playing game inspired by The Legend of Zelda in some respects, particularly regarding the puzzle-based dungeons, and has an art style that is heavily inspired by Studio Ghibli. When it was originally announced back in 2019, it was going to be a timed exclusive for the Switch, slated for a 2020 release, but after a delay, all versions will now be releasing at the same time, and that time is on Friday the 27th of August. So there you have it then, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. I'm sure you'll agree there are quite a few games in there, even if they don't interest you, that many people would have been waiting a long time for. A King's Bounty sequel, the Spelunky games to hit the Switch, No More Heroes 3, and of course Baldo. Funnily enough though, the one I'm most interested in is that little cheap farm game. Please do let us know if you are picking any of these up, stick it in the comment section below. Another thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Please do check out the top pinned comment for more details on their service. A thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.